Come on, JB, man. Jared Bell, that's my guy.
No, he's my guy,
I've been
too.
around.
Yeah,
he covered me forever. That's my dude. Not a big deal, Skip, at all. I understand the optics, right, based on his history. But by all standards, he's been a rock-solid model citizen teammate since leaving Green Bay to the New York Jets. He really has. He's done everything. Last year, he didn't have to be there when he tore his Achilles, but he was there. He was on the sidelines. He was participating.
For most of the
He was
time,
doing things that he did not have to do. He could have come back to California, hung out on the beach in Malibu, and rehabbed and go back to New York in the offseason. But he didn't do that. So it's not, I understand. I get it. It's Aaron Rodgers, and he's had his, issues with the press in the past and other players in the past and all of those things. But minicamp is just like OTAs, Skip. All OTAs is an extended version of minicamp. That's all it is. Minicamp is a weekend, a couple days. That's it. It's a few days. That's all it is. And most of the time, he will not even get the reps. He won't even be, it'll be like Tyrod Taylor and some dude that ain't gonna make the team that's like the fourth quarterback participating and getting most of the reps. He'll do pat and go. He'll do one-on-ones. He'll get a little bit of team, a little bit of 7-on-7, but the backups that they need to really look at and see in T-shirts and shorts will get the majority of the reps. And if he's in communication with Robert Saleh, and Robert Saleh gives him a pass to say, hey, whatever he's off doing, maybe he's at one of those retreat things that he goes to or seminars that has to do with, the psychedelic things in the air.
Those things.
Maybe he's doing that, and that's important to him opposed to being there, and he's already had it in his schedule. So I don't have a big deal or problem. Aaron Rodgers is different anyway. Everybody's not going to always be treated the same. And the fact that he's going to be fine because it's part of the collective bargaining agreement. You don't go to mandatory minicamp. You're subject to some sort of fine. That's going to happen.
Yep.
The coach had to say it because I'm sure the question was going to be posed to him. Hey, what are you going to do? Rodgers didn't come. He's going to have to say, I'm taking some money out of his pocket. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't even think you do that to Rodgers.
No, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, but they'll say it. They'll say it.
Oh, yeah.
This is across all sports. Aaron Rodgers, we already know what he brings to the table. We're talking about a guy, like you said, Key, this is mini camp. It's only going to last a few days.
Couple days.
He's already been to 6 optional practices he didn't have to be at before this.
Yeah.
He's been to 6 of those.
Same thing as minicamp.
Yeah, but when you got a player of this caliber, and not to say he's above anybody else,
but he is.
But he is. And, you don't want to come off like that to your teammates, but there's a certain standard. Only certain players can do this. And he's one of them. And like you said, he probably went to one of those darkness retreats.
Something that he needs.
Something that he needs. And as long as he expressed it to the coach, staff, I'm okay with it. You don't overreact to nothing like this before the season starts. It's only June. Skip, Key, it's only June. They got 2 more months
of this
before they kick off. So I'm not worried about him and what's going on at this stage.
Here's where it comes back to bite when we get into September and we get into October and November, December, and the Jets are less than what they're advertised. Now you rewind, right, Skip, and you come back to, well, it was June. He should have been there in camp. It's almost like one of these situations. You remember the Odell Beckham going to Miami, Green Bay. That had nothing to do with them losing the game.
I know, but he was about to play his first ever playoff game, and it was up on the frozen tundra, and he takes the receivers down to South Beach for Monday.
But nothing to do with the game, because when he goes to South Beach for those days, they got a whole nother week till they play. Had nothing to do with it. But when he lost...
It was that week.
Yeah, but
he just took the day off.
When they lost...
ended at Washington, he just said, can I go down to...
And when they lost...
And unfortunately, Trey Songz posted the picture of him on the yacht, right?
But it had nothing to do with them losing the game.
It happens all the time.
It had nothing to do with losing the game.
He had a bad game.
And he had a bad game, so everybody said, if you would have stayed your ass at New York instead of Miami, you wouldn't have lost.
In the first quarter, he dropped a 3rd and 8 that hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, but Odell is not
Eli.
an MVP.
No,
He's
no,
not
I'm just
a
saying.
Super Bowl champion.
No, the reason I even brought that up is because
it's a difference. In
no,
all
but the
that.
reason I even brought it up is because it can come back to bite Aaron Rodgers as a conversation if the Jets don't start off well. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Okay, as we all remember a few weeks, whatever, I'm losing track of the time, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's a long shot presidential candidate, has considered asking Aaron to join his ticket as the vice president's
That was a couple months ago.
nominee. It's a couple of months ago. But the point is, Jarrett Bell writes, he's just speculating that because there's a big fundraiser featuring RFK Jr. out here in Glendale at the end of this week. It's a private fundraising reception. It's Thursday in Glendale, that maybe Aaron wants to be there for him to help him raise money. And that could be the case.
Thursday? Mm-hmm. Why would he miss minicamp if it's Thursday? You could just fly out on a Wednesday.
I don't know if he just wanted to stay
Thursday,
out.
or you can fly out
He's got
Thursday
the house
morning.
in Malibu. If he just wanted to stay west for the week.
Check on the house.
And if that is the case, so be it.
Okay. I'm going to read you a quote also from Jarrett's article that he dredged back up from last January. It was uttered by Aaron the day after the season ended. And obviously he played a grand total, as we all remember, 4 plays last year before his Achilles tore in that opening Monday night game. Okay, here's the quote from Aaron to the New York media the day after the season ended. It's not a half the time thing. It's not a sometimes thing. It's not a most of the time thing. It's an every time thing. If you want to be a winning organization and put yourself in position to win championships and be competitive, everything that you do matters. And the bleep that has nothing to do with winning needs to get out of the building. So that'll be the focus moving forward. Okay. The only reason this matters to me is that last season was a bust. It was a waste. It was a here today, gone
ticket.
tomorrow. Yeah, it was broken dreams. And they were on hard knocks, and then they suffered the hardest knocks on their Monday night game, and that was that. And obviously, Zach Wilson had a long, hard year, and it just got to be hard to watch. So now Aaron's turned 40 years of age. I don't know, his clock's ticking. I don't know how many more years he wants to play. But they do have a chance to be pretty good next year.
Yeah.
And that receiver, as you well know, he's pretty good.
Yeah, Wilson's nice.
Yeah. And they added Hassan Reddick, and now he wants more money, so he's the other holdout. He just flat out missed minicamp because he wants a new contract.
Yeah.
So is that going to be an issue going forward? But Aaron doesn't want more money because he's making $60 million. Okay, so the point is, you just want to see the leader of the team set a new tone for a new year. You know, like let's get this back together. Let's do it right this time. So is it an end of the world thing? Obviously not. Would it have helped if he shows up just to send a message to these teammates, to Garrett Wilson? I'm here. I'm going to lead you, and we're going to go places this year. That's all I'm saying is it was a missed opportunity. And just watching Robert Saleh's body language and listening to his tone, I don't think he loved it. I just don't think he loved it.
What it is that he didn't love was having to answer the question.
Well, he knew that was coming.
Yeah, that's what the coach didn't love, because it's like anybody. When you coaching Paul Pierce, myself, LeBron, any of these dudes that are looked at a certain way, the rules are different. So Robert Saleh knew way back when Aaron Rodgers approached him and said, hey, I understand we're doing minicamp, but I need to do this. Robert Saleh couldn't convince him to change the dates. He couldn't convince him to come. That's why he was at OTAs. That's one of the reasons, like you said, to be with the team, to show them that we're in this together. He's already done that at OTAs.
Yeah, but you just carry it right on through. This is different. This is new.
You could, but if it's important to you, if it's important to you, you as a coach have to respect the importance of that player to not be there. You can't just, you cannot take that importance away from that individual because it's not important to you. Because you're more, him being at minicamp for your team is more important than whatever it is that Aaron Rodgers needs to do. You can't do that. You can't all of a sudden, it just won't go well.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
So I reread the first of this quote. It's not a half the time thing. And he's talking about commitment during the regular season, obviously, but still, you can project it as something of a hypocritical quote because you need him to be full-time going into his age 40 season. You just...
I understand that, Skip. I understand that. But at the time that he said that, I'm sure he didn't realize that whatever it is in June that he needs to do wasn't there for him on the table at the time. When he wasn't thinking about that.
No, come on. I mean, he's been around too long. You give him a little more rope.
Absolutely.
I understand.
You know?
It's just, Keyshawn, you played receiver. This is the quarterback. It's just different. The other guys are looking to the quarterback because you just do. Like,
yeah, but Skip, I played receiver, but essentially I was the quarterback because I was the personality. I was the player. I was the one that the coaches looked to all the time. So essentially I was the quarterback, even though I played a different position. Every player is different. Some players get leeway. When we would fly away games, and I would want to stay in town or go home while they go back to the city in which they play, you simply say to the coach, say, man, I'm staying. We win the game. I'm just going to stay over. I'll see y'all on Wednesday.
Okay.
You have that type of communication.
So what happens is if the backup defensive tackle who's there right now going through whatever, if he reads that, in fact, on Thursday night, Aaron's at the fundraiser out in Glendale, California for RFK Jr., he's like, I flew all the way from
Yes, you did.
Arizona for this or whatever.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you're not Aaron.
And your ass better fly back again next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after.
Right.
You are the 39th guy on the roster, not the number one guy on the roster. As Jimmy Johnson once amazingly said, if Troy Aikman is asleep, I'm going to let him sleep.
He actually said it about Michael.
He said about all the coaches said.
If Michael's late to the plane,
look,
probably going to wait 5 minutes.
You're going to wait.
Hey, listen,
and if you sleep, I'm going to let Troy Aikman sleep. If you go to sleep, I'm going to cut you. It doesn't.
Yes, 100%.
That's just what it is, Skip. Nothing you can do about it.
Going into their first Super Bowl, a backup running back who was pretty good out of the University of Pittsburgh, Kervin Richards. He fumbled
and got cut.
In the last game of the regular season against Ditka's Bears at Texas Stadium. He fumbled, and the next day he was gone.
I done seen it all. Trust me, Skip.
Gone? So you're going into the playoffs with no backup running back?
I seen a dude cut. Mention no names or teams. You can figure it out later, Skip. I see the dude cut because he was hanging out with another dude who was more important to the team, and the other dude was just a guy, but he was hanging out with him. So it became, in their eyes, a bad influence. So they wound up just cutting the dude. Good dude get cut because you hanging around the dude. I'm like, they cut him? I'm like, yeah, they cut him. He didn't even do anything wrong. They don't want him around him. They don't want him around.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.